I'm not ranking movies this time by how good they are. I am ranking them by how aggressively 2000s they are. I don't know if you've noticed, but I tried to put on a little Y2K thing here. Got my little clips in, got my hoops, I did my liner, I did everything how I remembered it to be during the 2000s. So I'm really excited to do this ranking. Let's go. Before I get into the actual ranking, I want to go through all our tiers. So we start with the top tier, which is That's Hot. This is for the real 2000s movies. This is for the movies that have cheesy one-liners. They're in general cheesy. It has weird sexual things in there that's not necessary. And it also has maybe, I don't know, let's just say it's kind of trashy. It's kind of bad. You're like, oh, that hurts a little bit. If it does have those things, but it has its charm, I'm calling it 2000s. That goes in there. And our second tier is Totally. This is for movies that are almost perfectly 2000s. I think they're very 2000s, but they're not the best 2000s examples there are. And the third one I have Try Again. So Try Again is for, you have some 2000s elements, but you also have things in there that I'm like, okay, did you try though? Try Again. This is not 2000s enough for me. And then the second to last, I have Poser. This is for movies that have some 2000s elements here and there. Like, it does have some 2000 culture in there, but it's not really 2000s. That goes in there. And at the bottom of all the tiers, I have Get Real. This is for the movies that are so not 2000s. Even though they're made in the 2000s, this movie is very much not 2000s. I do have to say that all these movies are from the 2000s, otherwise it wouldn't be fair to put them in a tier list if they're not even trying to be themselves. Like, these movies all literally came out in the 2000s. So let's get into it. So the first movie you have is Final Destination. I have spoken about it before. I'm not gonna get into it too much. It's just about somebody has a premonition about dying in an airplane and he gets crazy, so they kick him out of the airplane and he and a bunch of people get kicked out. And they survive the crash that did happen. And everybody's like, you're crazy. How did you know it was gonna crash? And then they found out that even though they thought they survived the crash, death still comes for them one by one and kills them off. Okay, this movie is it didn't come out deeply into the 2000s. It came out in 2000. So you would think that movies that came out in 2000 couldn't be very 2000s, but I think this one is surprisingly still very 2000s. It has the cheesy characters. You have the nice guy, you have the nerdy weird girl, you have the jock, you have the cheerleader type, you have those. They're not too cheesy as they can get in 2000 movies, but they are cheesy enough to fit into those archetypes. So this movie is cheesy, it is 2000s, and I think it should go in Totally. I don't think it's the most 2000s movie out there, but I think it is very 2000s. If you think about a 2000s movie, this is one of the first one of the horror movies that might come up in your mind, like, oh yeah, that's 2000s. So it's going in Totally. Our second movie that we have is Jennifer's Body. Now, this movie came out well into the 2000s, and it's about a girl and her best friend, Jennifer, and her best friend Needy. They live in a small town. Jennifer is very popular, Needy is not so much, but they are friends, but there's like an obvious hierarchy between the two. Jennifer is definitely more the boss of Needy than the other way around. There's a fire, Jennifer gets like abducted, goes with these weird guys, and they do something to her. I'm not gonna get into it too much. And they do a ritual which turns her into a succubus, so then she goes around killing men. So fun. Then Needy kind of finds out about this and tries to stop her friend, and it's very much focused on the two girls mostly. Like, even though the victims are men, it's about Jennifer and Needy. So this movie is hot. That's hot. So it goes in That's Hot. It has the 2000s snarky one-liner. She's catty, and they have that, like, they're not scared to go into that mean girl aspect, which is very 2000s. I think then they were relentless back then, and I think the fashion is very 2000s. I think this is a staple for girls who like 2000s to watch this movie and use this even now as like their inspiration for what the 2000s was. So I think this is That's Hot. So our next movie came out in 2005, Cry Wolf. It's about a boy that goes to a new boarding school. He moves and he meets a group of people and they tell him, come join us for a game night. So they play the game and one of them is the killer and the others have to find out who it is. No, I'm not it, they're it. And he likes the game. But then they're all like, this is getting kind of boring. Why not just play the game with the whole school? So that starts, and then they find out that, oh wait, this is not just a joke you made up, there's actually someone going around killing us, the group. So they have to find out, and the main guy is like, oh my god, who's doing this, trying to find out who in the group it is, who is the killer. It's very underrated. I haven't heard many people talk about this movie, but let's just not yap too much. Is it 2000s? Totally. It's not the most 2000s thing there is. It's not too cheesy, I would say, but it does have like the cyber thing there. That's very 2000s. They're using the internet a bit more. It is 2000s, but not too much, you know? So it's going to go in totally. Maybe I would do it and try again, but I think it's just a bit too much Y2K to not go in totally. Now, the next movie I have is Saw. Well, Saw 2004. We all know Saw. Two guys trapped in this weird room. They want to get out, they have to confess to the things they've done. They're stuck, they have to play a game, there's a dead body on the floor in the middle of them, and there's policemen. I don't know how to say it, how to explain Saw any other way, especially Saw 1. Did this come out in the 2000s? Yes, 2004. Is it 2000s? The green filter is... I think that's about all the 2000s you're really getting from Saw, especially the first one. So it's not getting that cheesy 2000s fashion, one-liners, maybe here and there a one-liner, yeah, but not too many. So I'm gonna put this one in Get Real. Saw's just not very Y2K coded, I would say. It could be in any time period, to be honest, so that's why I'm putting it down there. The next movie we have is Sorority Row. So Sorority Row is from 2009. It's about a group of sorority girls and they pull this prank, something like a revenge prank, and it goes really wrong and someone dies and they try to cover it up, but they're not getting away with it. Somebody's coming back for revenge and kills them one by one, like tries to kill them one by one. Is this cheesy? Yeah. Do they have very 2000s outfits on? Yeah, the girls are supposed to be in a sorority, so they're gonna have them Y2K outfits on. Is this kind of bad? Yeah. Does that mean it goes in That's Hot? Yeah, it does. It's not the ultimate 2000s movie, but it is very 2000s because it has the whole cheesy girls. Oh, does it have nudity, by the way? Also, yeah, I forgot to say that. It does have nudity in there. Plenty. And so it does have all those boxes I just said that make a cheesy 2000s movie. So this one is going in That's Hot. So our next movie is Paranormal Activity, 2007. It wasn't a general subgenre found footage back then. Like you had some, like Blair Witch and Cannibal Holocaust, and Wreck came out in 2007 as well. I think this movie helped the rising a whole lot, a whole lot. So this movie is about a girl and a guy, like a girlfriend and a boyfriend. They're living together and she doesn't feel right. She's like, no, there's something going on. There's weird stuff happening in the house, and the boyfriend doesn't believe her the whole movie. He tries to prove her, I guess, that there's nothing going on, and she's like, no, there is. And then through the cameras, which is what we're seeing, it had a lot of like jump scares, a bit like here and there. I think if you release the movie now, it would not work, but back then it did, because there wasn't a lot of stuff like this, especially like security footage. Like it was just like a camera in the corner of the house. Nobody was moving the camera, and that was very unique, and still is actually, but especially then. So I think it is 2000. Could this have been made in any other year, like decade? Yeah. It was made in the 2000s, but it doesn't feel that 2000 because it did shape found footage in a way, like it changed it. I will still have to put it in Poser because it's not very 2000s, but it just means too much to the 2000s to not put it there. Now the next movie I have is Friday the 13th 2009 version. I hated it and I loved it. At the same time, it was so cheesy. Ultimate cheese. So many sexual jokes. People were having sex with other people that weren't their partner. And I was like, is nobody gonna say anything? But I guess that didn't matter in the plot because people were being killed. It's just about a group of people that go to Camp Lakewood, like they sleep over there and they start getting killed one by one by Jason. It is better than the original, which is a weird thing to say, but I personally just really don't like the original Friday the 13th. But I can get into that at a later time. But for this one, is it cheesy? Yeah. Does it have stereotypical characters? Yeah. Does it have one-liners, especially cheesy one-liners? Yeah. Does it have unnecessary nudity? Yeah. Is it technically quite bad and in bad taste? Yeah. Is it 2000s? Totally. But it's going in. That's hot. That's hot. Now, for our next movie, I'm going to talk about Seed of Chucky. Seed of Chucky. Not the first Chucky movie, because, well, the first one came out way before this. This movie is about Chucky and Tiffany having their child, their seed, and like he's kind of a nice guy, and Tiffany and Chucky are like kind of like, is this our kid? It's very funny and just follow them. Is it 2000s? Yeah, because it has that like wacky, cheesy lines that we all expect from Chucky, but even more in this movie than the other ones. This one and Bride of Chucky are my two favorite Chucky movies. So I will have to put this one in. Maybe, I don't think it will go in Totally or That's Hot. I think Try Again, because it does have a lot of 2000s elements. I think in the writing room it's definitely obvious that there is the 2000s, but does it show in the movie itself per se? A little, not too much, just enough. Our next movie is Hostel. This movie came out in 2005. It is like a follow-up to Saw. It's is it as good as Saw? I don't think so. Personally, I'm not a big fan of Hostel. I prefer the Saw series, but I get why people might like it. But it's just about two guys. They are traveling around Europe, and then somebody like, oh, come to this hostel. We will give you women. That's very 2000s. And when they get there, it's like a whole thing, and one of them first gets kidnapped and gets tortured, and then the other, they find out, like the other finds out, like, oh, rich people pay money to torture people who are abducted here. And so it's kind of like that. It's just torture porn. I have Art the Clown right there. I heard some bad stuff about some of the stuff that happens behind the scenes, not the actor of Art the Clown. I heard some bad stuff about what happened backstage. I still have to see if I'll be supporting the fourth one, so we'll see about that. But for the original Hostel movie, what I was talking about, it has that like the green filter like that Saw had, but less. It has a grimy look to it that some 2000s movies tend to really like, so it does have that. Is it cheesy? No. Does it have cheesy one-liners? No. Is it weirdly sexual? Well, yeah, but that can be said about a lot of movies these days. So I would not put this at anything higher than Get Real. Just like Saw. I think when the torture comes into play, I guess they kind of stop being cheesy. I guess you have to take yourself a bit more serious to pull that off. I'm not sure. It's just going in there. That's it. So our next movie is My Bloody Valentine from 2009. I watched this movie with my fiance on Valentine's Day. So the plot of My Bloody Valentine is quite simple. There were killings during Valentine's Day years before, and then killings start up again, and there's like a mining lunatic going around killing people. And I don't want to give too much away if you haven't seen it, but I think it's great. Is it cheesy? Very much so. Is it really sexual? Just, yeah. Is it full of one-liners? Yeah. Is it a little bad, a little good? Yeah. Like I said before, I love cheesy 2000 movies, so this one is going in. Well, you know what? I'm putting it in Totally. I think it's not as cheesy as some of the other movies we have. I think we have more 2000 movies that are more cheesy than this one. Even though it is cheesy, I think the fashion is not there that I think the others do have. So that kind of helps the whole 2000 stuff a bit. So it's going in Totally. So our next movie is The Hills Have Eyes When I originally watched this movie, I thought I was watching the original, but then I accidentally watched the remake, which is what we're talking about today. But I didn't enjoy it that much. I didn't think it was that bad. There were certainly elements in this movie that I liked. And then when I watched the original, I preferred the remake. So that's a new one that you don't see every day, but I did enjoy the remake of this one over the original. I think a certain scene in the remake was done not as tasteless as the original did it. Did I still enjoy it? No. There's just some stuff in The Hills Have Eyes, like certain scenes, if you know what I'm talking about, certain SA scenes. I just don't enjoy them in movies. Every time I see it, I'm kind of like, do we have to? Is this necessary? No, it's not necessary. We've seen it, we get it. Women suffer. Great. We know, you don't have to remind us in a movie. So is it 2000s? Yeah, it does have like the cheesy one-liner stuff. It does have cheesy horror. It does have bad things to it. I don't want to put it in That's Hot because I don't think that's hot. I will put it in Try Again because we follow a family going on a trip, and then their caravan breaks down, and there are some weird mutations, people that have mutated through incest that live in the hills, and they are coming to kill them. That's the premise, and I enjoyed it a bit, but I think I would have enjoyed it way more if certain scenes were left out. That's all I'm gonna say about that movie. It's just go in and try again, because try again. Please, thank you. Our next movie is Final Destination 3. This is my favorite of all the Final Destination movies. I think this is the most fun one. It's the one where they go on a roller coaster and the main character is a girl and she has a premonition the coaster is gonna break and everybody's gonna die. So like the original, she gets off, another group of people get off with her, and they start dying one by one. And this time they did the whole, oh my god, what is the sequence in how everyone dies a bit differently. This one they did it with photos. Through the night she was taking photos, and you can see in every picture how people were going to die. Like for example, the very famous tanning scene. You can see the picture was lighted a bit too much, so she knew they were gonna burn. So I think this one is done the best out of all Final Destination movies, and even better, is it cheesy? Yeah, it is cheesy. It's overly sexual. It has disgusting stereotypical characters. It has one-liners. It has everything a cheesy 2000 movie needs. So I think this is That's Hot, because it is hot. Our next movie is Prom Night, 2008. It is a remake as well. There's many remakes, like I said. So Prom Night's about a girl that gets, she has survived like somebody trying to kill her and has killed her mom, and she's traumatized and she's just trying to continue on with her life, but the person comes back to haunt her and everybody's trying to help her stay safe, but it's her prom night and she wants to go to prom, so she goes to prom. Not everything goes to plan. It felt kind of flat to me. It felt more like it felt a bit boring, and for a 2000 movie I enjoy being entertained. If I'm being honest, I enjoy being entertained by either cringe or by laughter. So this one didn't have that, so I didn't think it was that 2000s. I think it felt more like a 2010s movie, if I'm being honest. Maybe it was just ahead of its time. So for this one I'm going very simple. I'm just going in, I think Try Again. Could have made it cheesier, but it didn't have enough cheesy characters, especially side characters, for it to go in Try Again. Okay, our next movie, Freddy vs. Jason. So a very weird movie. When I knew this movie existed, I was like, how is this gonna work? So I watched it and I really liked it. I thought it was very cheesy. It had the whole, it was weird because it's just about Freddy Krueger using Jason, like going in Jason's dream and using Jason as a killing machine, using Jason to kill people, even though he kills them as well. So I don't know why he needed Jason in the first place. And then eventually they battle each other, obviously, you know. And I think it's a very weird movie. I think Freddy Krueger is even more funny in this movie than his other movies. And well, not all his other movies, but I think he was very funny in this one. I think this certain scene.
Sweet. Dark meat.
It was a choice. I think that's pretty much sums up this movie. It's cheesy, it's very 2000s, it's just so bad that it's good. It's just so bad that it's good, so it's going and that's hot. Our next movie is Amityville Horror, the 2005 Ryan Reynolds version. Many people that I know really like this movie. I personally don't really enjoy it that much. I just don't think it's much for me. And it's about a family that moves into a house where a brutal murders have taken place, and there's like demonic stuff going on and ghosty ghost stuff going on, and Ryan Reynolds' character really gets like influenced by these presences in the house and it goes a bit whoop whoop, you know, like The Shining. I think if this came out during the 2010s paranormal, spiritual, supernatural horror movie era, it wouldn't have done as well as it has done in the 2000s. So it's going in poser. You're a poser. So our next movie is Final Destination 2. It's just about a girl riding in a car with friends and there's other people around and on the highway and there's a crash. And in the crash there's also this very famous scene. I think we've all seen that scene. I think we've all been scared of that scene. Everybody who's ever seen that scene has ever since then been afraid to drive behind one of those things. It's not very 2000s. I don't think it has the cheesy stuff that the first one has. It has like, it's more serious than the first one, and it's not as unserious as the third one is. The third one is very unserious, very cheesy, very 2000s, and the first one is still trying to be something. So I think the second one is just a bit, it's good. It has good kills, good characters. It's just not very Y2K cheesy, but it's not too bad. It does have 2000s elements in there, so I'm gonna put it in Try Again. The next movie I have is Valentine. It came out in 2001. This is about a group of friends and a group of people, and there's a killer and he goes around killing them one by one, dressed up as Cupid, sending threatening love letters. It's a very Valentine-based slasher. But I think this one is not as 2000s as it can be, so I have to put it in Poser. I think it goes in Poser because I don't think it's very 2000s. I think it's more a 90s movie in my mind, even though it came out in the 2000s. So it goes in Poser. Our last movie is House of Wax. I really like this movie, so I'm really excited to talk about this one. It came out in 2005. It's about a group of friends and family, like twins. They go on a trip to a football game, but they get stuck somewhere, and then they find an abandoned town with a weird house of wax. It's like a museum of wax there, and weird things starts to happen, and they're like, why do these wax people look so weird? Let's just say that. And it's a really unique, fun slasher movie. It's a slasher movie, but it does have stuff in there that's not usual because of the whole wax thing. I think it takes a unique route. And for this one, it has a lot of weird scenes in there that are cheesy, that are questionable. There is some very stereotypical characters. There is some one-liners that you're like, okay, we get it. Oh, thanks. Thanks for telling us. And last but definitely not least, there is Paris Hilton in this one. So I think just because it has Paris Hilton, it should already be in That's Hot. But because it's also hot, it will go in That's Hot. It's very 2000s, it's very cheesy, and it's just a very enjoyable movie. So our next movie is Scream 3. It's about, there are obviously Ghostface is back, and Sydney's trying to move on with her life. It's not happening. Ghostface comes back, tries to get her again, and this time they're making more Scream movies, like more stab movies. So the people that are acting as the characters, like they're actors, they're also getting targeted by Ghostface this time. It's meta, yeah, it's a Scream movie. There are things in there I really like about this, there are things in there I really don't like, but is it 2000s? No. I'm gonna put it right there. It does not give me 2000s vibes at all. It just feels like another 90s movie, which makes sense because it's a 2000s movie. But I didn't want to put a Scream movie in there because I just really like Scream, and this is the only Scream movie that came out in the 2000s, so I had to put it in there. I had to sneak it in. If you just want to bully a movie, I think this is like the perfect era to do so, especially the movies that I put in the first and the second tier list are amazing. There are many decades where you can find cheesy movies and bad, trashy movies, but I think the 2000s just is the perfect era because it's full of remakes where they take something that already exists and turn it trashy. That's kind of the thing that they've done in the 2000s, and I think that these movies have done it especially well. And I personally really like it because it's just so weird, and I just like that. So thank you for watching. I really enjoyed making this list, and if you have any more trashy 2000 movies that you think I would like, or you know that I haven't mentioned in this video, just let me know, and I really like to watch that one. And yeah, thanks for watching and see you later. Bye!